ASICs or prevent specialized hardware from like being the dominant force in mining, because that would make mining too centralized. But at the same time, CPU mining has other issues. So we have this sort of GPU mining that's a nice middle ground. It's a fairly pretty algorithm once again. It's called ETH hash. So fast block times, Merkle trees. So this is also a kind of very important piece of the Ethereum protocol. So the reason why I have this picture here is because about a year ago there was this cover in the New York Times that basically have Life Masters that's saying it's all about the blockchain. And personally, I think it's not just about the blockchain, it's about the Merkle tree. And I think Merkle trees are like awesome and really important. So we should have Ralph Merkle saying it's all about the Merkle tree, and you should have some doges because doges are cool. I hope it's not a violation of securities law to say that Dogecoin is awesome, and if you want to buy it, you can. Cool. So Merkle trees, the point basically is, so this is how the Ethereum Lite client works. So the problem is, okay, if you have the entire database, if you have the entire state, if you have all the transactions, then you can know, let's say, what your account balance is, what some particular contract's code is, what some particular contract storage is, what some particular log says. But what if you're a light client? What if you're on a phone? What if you're on an IoT device and you don't have enough resources to process the entire blockchain? So the blockchain itself, right now, the blockchain is 3 bytes. The sort of state size is something around between like 5 and 20 bytes, depending on which client options you use. So it gets pretty big for a phone. So if, let's say, you have a tiny device that has like 50 megabytes and very low processing power, then what do you do? So this wonderful fellow came up with this algorithm where basically what you do is you store this kind of really clever hash tree where you store the pieces of data at the bottom, then you like have hashes of those, and you have hashes of hashes and hashes of hashes. And the end result is, if, let's say, all that I care about is getting key for, let's say, some like this particular key of, this particular account 175, then you don't actually have to download the entire blockchain yourself. Instead, all you do is you download this, what we call kind of this Merkle branch. You verify that the hashes inside of the branch are consistent. And as long as you have the block headers, you just kind of verify the Merkle branch against the block headers. And what you're doing is you're essentially allowing the miners to kind of help you verify that this particular piece of the state actually is what the node says it is. So if a node gives you this sort of Merkle proof that says this particular key in this particular account is 45, if you can verify the proof of work and you can verify the hashes, then basically you can verify that unless like all the miners are at that particular time conspiring to screw you over, this actually is what the state of the blockchain is in this particular place at that time. So the Lite client, there was like a test of an alpha version that was released a couple of weeks ago. I've tried it, it works great. So block headers contain 3 trees. So Bitcoin uses Merkle trees just for transactions. We use Merkle trees for transactions for the state. So this includes account balances, contract code, contract storage, receipts. So we have Patricia trees, which allow you to kind of update the tree very efficiently. And so those are kind of the basic building blocks of the Ethereum protocol right now. There's also very fun stuff that we're working on in the future. So things like proof of stake that I'm going to, and scalability that I'm going to talk about in my presentation later today. Privacy support. So basically, with privacy, you don't have to actually build things into the base protocol. Because the Ethereum protocol is Turing complete, you can basically like implement any kind of advanced cryptography on top of it. Now, for like VM efficiency reasons, there are still sort of protocol tweaks that we have to make, but even still, it's something where like the vast majority of the work actually does sort of happen on the higher levels. Virtual machine upgrades, sort of more flexible use of storage and scalability, and these things are great. And just to set a good example, I'm going to stop now because the clock tells me to stop now. So thank you. Try this. What? What's happening to it? No, it's just coming slowly. How do I go back? Oh, up. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. So I heard people in the audience complaining on WeChat about the mic being too quiet, so I'm going to try to keep it closer to my mouth this time around. We'll see if it works. Great, so this is the one of the sort of standard presentations I give when people want just like a quick overview of the entire Ethereum protocol. So chances are you'll listen through this, you'll catch some things, you won't catch other things, but at the very least you'll kind of understand what the broad structure is, and if there's any particular piece that you don't fully understand, we have quite a few materials online that tell you about the rest. So we have our GitHub wiki, the website. If you are a developer, you can even read things like the yellow paper and the Ethereum source code. If you want to get like that deep an understanding of sort of how the Ethereum protocol works, I highly recommend doing those things. If you have specific questions, I also highly recommend even going into some of our public channels. So if you go to like gitter.im, gitter.im/Ethereum, for example, you can actually like literally just talk to our developers, and they're like right there, and you can ask questions. We're generally a fairly friendly community, I hope. So anyway, Ethereum in 25 minutes. So first of all, how did the project start? So project started back in 2013. At the time, people were very interested in blockchains. People were looking at Bitcoin, people were excited about Bitcoin, but people were also realizing that blockchains are useful for things other than just money. So back in 2011, there was a project called Namecoin, which was trying to make a blockchain-based domain name system. In 2013, there were projects called Colored Coins, which were trying to like digitize arbitrary digital assets or arbitrary assets and put them on the blockchain. There were protocols called Mastercoin that were trying to integrate all sorts of fairly complex features. So there was a consensus that you can do lots of different really cool things with Bitcoin, or with other blockchains. Asset issuance, crowdfunding, title registration, lots and lots of stuff. Problem is, most blockchain protocols were designed like this. Pocket calculator, single purpose device, works reasonably well for all you care about is adding and multiplying numbers, but it does nothing else. And sure, someone with an advanced computer science degree with a good calculator can kind of hack it to play a video game inside of it, but do you really want to do that? So after this, in 2013, there were people who were making protocols that looked like this. So Swiss Army knife. Basically, you come up with a list of 10 or 20 features he wants to have, make a little tiny thing for each one of them, stick them together into a knife, and there you go, that's your product. Or in this case, that's your blockchain. So back at the end of 2013, there were lots of projects that looked like this. They just said, okay, we want blockchains to be usable for asset issuance, crowdfunding, bets, prediction markets, identity registration, title registration. Pick a list of 20 different things, have a list of 20 different transaction types, and have a little piece of the protocol that supports each one. So this is all well and good. Problem is, what if you come up with your list of 20 applications, publish your protocol, then the next day some guy says, oh look, I discovered a 21st blockchain application. How am I going to fit it in? And in 2013, this is exactly what started to happen. So this is the Ethereum way.
Foda.
So why do we love smartphones so much? Basically because a smartphone is nice and generic. You buy it once, and download it immediately comes with 50 or 100 applications. If someone comes up with a new application, they upload it to the Google Play Store. And if you want it to be accessible in China, you can upload it to
Esse Vitalik, sei lá. O nome desse merda. Sai de minha vozinha. Tá bom. É um escritor e programador russo, canadense, conhecido como fundador do... Que é isso? Vita Magazine. Eu não entendi quem é esse sujeito. Fala. Quando o cara sai da Rússia já dá pra ver que ele é importante, né? O cara é um escritor famoso. programador da Rússia, e hackeou um canal do Brasil. E infelizmente, né, pro azar de Piuzjnho, o canal dele hackeado mais uma vez.
So basic concept is, if you have some new kind of application, then what you would do is you would write the rules of your application in a piece of code. Take this piece of code,
Meu Chrome tá dando.
a contract, upload it to the blockchain, and now you have a special type of account. And this type of account sits on the blockchain, and anyone can send a transaction to this account in order to interact with this account. So two types of account. One type of account is a user account, controlled by people like you. And the other type of account is a contract, which is controlled by us. If you send 1 unit of Ether,
O cara é um escritor e programador russo.
no person controls it anymore. The only thing you can actually
Roubou o canal de Piuzjnho de novo.
So basically is an automaton sitting on the blockchain that's executing exactly as
Piuzjnho já tem uma história de vida meio que
the blockchain says it's going to.
forte, comovente.
So this
O cara consegue subir na vida, consegue o seguidor dele e chega um cara assim do nada e rouba
Ethereum is sort of basic.
o canal dele de novo, né? É osso.
So the idea here is you want to store a mapping of basically domains. So you have something like
Vitalik, Boteirinho.
George.eth,
Vamos ver aqui, tropa, agora.
Ethereum.eth.
Acho que vai dar bom.
Ask me about my cool Ethereum.
Nós ler aqui.
So you have a bunch of domains that people might want to register, and for each one you want to store the IP address that it points to, and you want to store who owns that domain at that particular time. So we have two functions. One of them is for registering a domain, and the logic is pretty obvious. If the domain is not getting registered, then you set the owner to yourself. And another function that says set the IP address. If you own a domain, then you can set the IP address. And this is like basically the minimal thing. That's like all you need in order to have like a maximally simple domain name system. Now, as I understand, Nick Johnson's going to be presenting about a much more integrated, better one at some point over the next 3 days. But this is sort of the kernel. This is what we're starting with. So you have this piece of code, and what you would do is you would compile it. You would get some bytecode, then include the code in a transaction.
É, tropinha.
Transaction up onto the blockchain.
É osso.
Now what you have created is a contract. And a contract
Quem é Vitalik?
has some, 20-byte string that represents sort of the location of the contract and will look like 0x357c, whatever. If you want to register a domain, what you would do is you would send the transaction and you would specify
Vamos entender aqui, tropa. Vou procurar um vídeo aqui. Quem é esse?
now
Pra vocês entenderem melhor aí quem é esse Vitalik, aí, sei lá o nome desse.
let's say you want to register a domain. What you would do is you would, in the transaction, you would encode some information that says, I want to call the register function, and I want to call the register function with like some particular piece of data, like, I don't know, George.eth or whatever. Take this transaction, include this data, publish the transaction. When the transaction gets included, the code runs, and you notice it says self.domain.
Ai, droga.
So what that line of code basically
Vitalik Buterin. Vamos procurar entender quem é esse Vitalik Buterin.
record that address in the contract storage as the owner of that particular domain. So you notice at the top of the contract here, it says like data domain, so it basically stores a mapping going from a domain to the owner and the IP address of each domain. So the code and the storage, like both of these things are what we call sort of part of the Ethereum state. So what we mean by the state is sort of current information associated with the Ethereum protocol. So stuff that you have to care about right now. This includes account balances, how much Ether,
Ah, tropa, vai ser meio difícil a gente achar alguma coisa desse cara, tá?
includes contract code,
Tá complicado.
contract storage. So for example,
Vitalik Buterin.
this piece of code is nowhere in the state.
Nossa, que 15 coisas assim.
Oferta pra quitar o cartão?
Anúncio, é foda.
Aí sim!
Vamos entender, tropa, quem é esse.
This is Billionaire Mondays. Every Monday we present you with another billionaire. Today we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Vitalik Buterin.
Vamos entender agora, tropa, quem é esse.
Welcome to the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Alexers. Welcome to another fact-filled video about the legends of our era. Today we look at a young genius whose innovative ideas have revolutionized the worlds of technology and opened a new avenue of exploration for global
Olha bem as
economics.
legendas aí, tropa, que vai dar pra vocês entenderem tudo quem é o cara que hackeou o Piuzjnho de novo.
Is only 24 years old and has already grown an international reputation for his accomplishments. He's the co-founder of Ethereum, a blockchain platform
Cara é
which develops
inteligente,
the idea
tropa.
of Bitcoin by providing smart contracts so that independent companies can build apps and trade freely. But it's something that may be essential to understand in the future world.
Cara é meio apelão na questão da
By the
inteligência.
end of this video, you still may be baffled by the entire concept of blockchain, Ether, and Ethereum, but you'll definitely know more about the man who masterminds it all. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. So, let's get to it. Number 1. Buterin's genius was recognized as early as the 3rd grade. At 6 years old, Vitalik's parents decided to move to Canada in order to find better work
A história do
opportunities. His
ladrão de
father was a
canal aí, topa, ó.
programmer. Originally,
Cara é
Vitalik was placed in
bandido.
the provincial school system and was underwhelmed by education.
Infelizmente, é o Piuzinho vítima mais uma vez.
He began to show
Coitado.
more interest. At the age of 7, he was placed into a special class for
Perdeu um
gifted
canal 10
children.
milhões de
He was
inscritos.
given
É...
work to challenge him and stimulate his
Não,
brain
é,
in
não é nem
ways that
inscrito mais não, nós já é família dele.
system did not. Even amongst the gifted children, his math teacher noted that Vitalik's speed for mental arithmetic was twice that of his other classmates. Number 2. Ethereum was introduced in 2015. Vitalik Buterin's brainchild went live in July of 2015. The project had been made possible by crowdfunding throughout 2013 and 2014. When Ethereum was introduced, each piece of currency was worth about $15. The project was started slowly and away from the attention of mainstream media. It was important for Vitalik to test the stability of this new platform before encouraging the global market to get on board. By 2017, he was ready, and the benefits of using Ethereum became widely shared with the general public. Number 3. 2017 saw Ethereum's value increase by 13,000%. The response to Ethereum's potential for businesses was more overwhelming than anyone had imagined, with the value of
Tropa é osso, tropa.
plummeting by 13,000%. One of the main reasons that Vitalik was worried about sharing the concept of Ethereum with the wider world was because he didn't believe they were ready for it. He felt that the general public would get overexcited about the potential of Ethereum and therefore give it an unrealistic value. That's exactly what happened, and was being sold for as much as $1,400. Vitalik himself even warned that this is not sustainable, and as predicted, the price had fallen to $200 by September 2018.
Meu Deus, essas perguntas. Tem como fazer tatuagem no dela do
Ó. Pula esse anúncio aqui,
Number
tropa.
4. Buterin's net worth is impossible to calculate. Buterin's net worth is impossible to calculate. Most of his wealth is in the form of Ethereum. By the standard of April 2017, he was
Oi?
estimated to be worth over $1.4 billion. Now, though, it's believed that his net worth is closer to $200 million. Huge fluctuations in such a short period of time speaks volumes about how little the global market actually understands the value of cryptocurrencies. Vitalik himself is not worried about such things. As far as he's concerned, it's more important to replace the instability of the current economic system with algorithms and computations that cannot be influenced by fickle things such as mass hysteria.
Lembrando, tropa, que aí nós estamos procurando entender quem é esse Vitalik aí que
Ethereum's estimated value of
roubou o canal de
$200
Piuzinho.
billion is based on potential, not reality. Ethereum estimated value of $200 billion is based on potential, not reality. The valuation of Vitalik's invention is based on its potential as a global marketplace where businesses and individuals can trade freely in cryptocurrencies without the need of transaction fees and other tariffs. However, Vitalik himself says that this valuation is dangerous. One of the main things that he and others at the forefront of cryptocurrency development are currently focusing on is bridging the gap between the potential of Ethereum and real-time quantifiable value. Number 6. In 2017, 4chan started a rumor that Vitalik had been killed in a car accident.
Dá uma pausa aqui, tropa, pra nós
When the hype surrounding
dar uma
Ethereum
resumida aqui. Pelo que eu entendi aqui até agora é que esse Vitalik aí é um cara super inteligente, né? Que se destacou desde criança e é um programador, um escritor lá da Rússia, que tá com um trem de uma nova invenção de uma criptomoeda aí, sei lá. Um novo mercado, né? E pelo que eu sei aqui, ele tá querendo expandir o negócio dele. E fez isso aí, com o Piuzjnho. Hackeou o canal dele, pra isso aí deve ser fichinha pra ele, hackear um canal. Cara inteligente desse lá da Rússia. Vamos entender melhor aqui.
had reached its peak, a rumor quickly went viral about the death of Buterin. As a result, the value of Ethereum dropped by a staggering $4 billion. This goes to show how important and influential Buterin is as an individual. His knowledge surpasses all others in a field that is cautiously advancing every single day. If he could no longer bestow his wisdom on the development of cryptocurrency as a global economic concept, then its progress would be substantially slowed down. Number 7. Google tried to hire Buterin in April of 2018. Google's hiring process became the laughingstock of a recent interview with Vitalik Buterin. Buterin explained the story. A random HR individual from Google emailed him, probably because a machine learning algorithm investigated his GitHub and found he had a high score at the Global Olympiad. Outwardly,
Você chegando agora aí, tropa, deixa o like aí pra estar fortalecendo. Se inscreve se não for inscrito aí, nós estamos procurando entender quem é o Vitalik, ou Vitalik, sei lá. O cara que hackeou o canal de Piu.
Number 8. Nouriel Rubini trolls Buterin and Cryptoland on Twitter.
Nelson Mandela, o primeiro presidente negro da África do Sul, país em segregação racial à época.
Nouriel Rubini is an American economist who lectures at New York University's Stern School of Business. He's also one of cryptocurrency's most vociferous critics. On October 11, 2018, he said 99% of Cryptoland is one shitcoin traded for another shitcoin, and the average shitcoin cost 90% or more of its value in the last year.
Compartilha a live aí, topa, pra mais pessoas ficarem sabendo e entender quem é o Vitalik, quem é o ladrão que roubou o canal de Piu.
Buterin has always felt the urge to offer rebuttals in defense of his empire. Many have urged Buterin not to reply to base slander, but when Rubini is getting over 1,000 likes per tweet and is also a trusted economic advisor to the U.S. Senate, he's a hard person to ignore. Number 9. Buterin was not interested in Bitcoin the first time he heard about it. Vitalik was first introduced to Bitcoin when he was 17 years old by his father.
Salve, surtado.
Apparently on his first inspection, Vitalik decided it was a concept
Surtado FF. Tá salvado aí, mano.
subject, and this time heavily interested in its potential to change the future of global economics. It's comforting to know that even a genius like Vitalik was prone to the naivete of youth at times. Number 10. Buterin has been compared to the greatest minds in the tech world. Some are beginning to talk of Vitalik Buterin on par with Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Elon Musk. The world of crypto is growing every year with more and more people investing. In the same way that Bill Gates brought about the revolution of computers, Steve Jobs unequivocally raised the standards of technology, and Elon Musk explores the future of sustainable power. Vitalik Buterin has led the way for cryptocurrency. One thing they all have in common is the personality cult that surrounds them. Such incredible influence amongst the brightest minds of our modern society is what makes Vitalik Buterin such a powerful individual. And Alexers, if you want to learn some more about Elon Musk, then click in the top right corner to watch our video, The 15 Things You Didn't Know About Elon Musk. Number 11. Buterin hit back at Rubini's skepticism in October 2018. Following Rubini's damning report to the U.S. Senate about the dangers of cryptocurrencies, Buterin decided to defend himself on Twitter. Rubini's main lines of criticism was that Buterin and other technological elites took advantage of a retail market where businesses did not have the knowledge to understand the dangers of their investments. He argued that the whole platform of Ethereum was a scam, and rather than being a decentralized financial system, Buterin was a dictator with more power than Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Buterin replied, he doesn't think that's
Entrar
a fair
pro.
description. If you look profoundly at the real processes of Ethereum supremacy, you'll discover that while a practical choice does exist, as in all cryptocurrencies, his own
O cara apagou, pelo que eu entendi, os vídeos, tudo que tinha do Pio. Tem nada. Eu estava aqui aí, acabaram praticamente com o que o cara já tinha conquistado. O sujeitinho feio. Olha. Parece um lagartixa.
If you have all the transactions, then you can know, let's say, what your account balance is, what some particular contract's code is, what some particular contract storage is, what some particular log says. But what if you're a light client? What if you're on a phone? What if you're on an IoT device and you don't have enough resources to process the entire blockchain? So the blockchain itself, right now, the blockchain is 3 bytes. The sort of state size is something around
É, tropa, é osso.
which client options you use. So it gets pretty big for a phone. So if, let's say, you have a timing device that has like 50 megabytes and very low processing power, what do you do? So this
Sim.
wonderful fellow came up with this algorithm, where basically what you do is you store this kind of really clever hash tree, where you store the pieces of data at the bottom, and then you like have hashes of those, and you have hashes of hashes and hashes of hashes. And the end result is, if, let's say, all that I care about is getting a key for, let's say, some like this particular key of, this particular account 175, then you don't actually have to download the entire blockchain yourself. Instead, all you do is you download this what we call kind of this Oracle branch. You verify that the hashes inside the
Aí,
branch is
chega de. Olha esse cara, que esse carinha tá. Dá uma olhada aqui.
I got broads in Atlanta. She's the lean in the family. Credit cards and the scammers. Hitting the licks in the van.
Dá uma baixada aqui, tropa.
Wait and see, look like a panda.
Mas é, tropa, pelo que nós entendemos aí é o. Cara. O escritor russo, né? Programador. Assaltou o Piuzjnho aí. Infelizmente, de novo. É hoje, tropa. Já tem o canal roubado de novo.
Oi. Não é do homem, mãe.
Cadê o robotinho?
Que roubou o canal do YouTube do homem. Ela é um famoso, mãe. O Vinícius tá fazendo live pra vocês. É pra vocês entrar aí e assistir. Não foi capinar o quintal. Te amo. Já. Aí, agora não tem jeito de esperar pelo cu que queria o seu. Eu não dou pra aqui, ó. Vou achar o PicPay pra mandar um negócio aí. Acho que é difícil.
Vou baixar daqui a pouco.
Ele tá precisando agora, moço.
Vou baixar aqui.
Ele vai baixar aqui, tio.
Então, vou estar encerrando a transmissão aqui, mas vai ficar aí o vídeo aí, pra vocês entenderem melhor. Quem é o ladrão de canal que roubou Pio. Tem uma outra hora aí, tropa.